I am so sorry, guys. I was in the middle of filming a new video, and I realized that the entire intro of my Harry Potter Order of the Phoenix is just gone. So we're going to get that over real quick. I'm Abby with Motor City Nerds. My hair looks like shit, and I don't care. But yeah, but we got to go back, because I can't believe I lost this video. The greatest gift ever, and everybody needs one. Everybody needs one of these. Wearable blankets. The greatest thing ever. The greatest thing ever. I love them. But yeah, for some reason, like, my videos got all jumbled up, and then, so if this repeats itself somewhere in the video, I'm sorry, but I just put it all together, and it took 4 hours, and now I have to do this and add it on, and it'll take another 2. So, this is my Order of the Phoenix episode. Abby, Motor City Nerds, make sure you liking, disliking, commenting helps me a ton. Please subscribe to the channel. I love doing this. But yeah, this isn't hating on the Harry Potter books. This is comparing things from books and movies and how the mediums are different and things in the movies that I feel like aren't talked about and appreciated enough, because we always talk about, like, oh, the book did this and they left it out, but it's like there are some things that the movies did better in some parts, I feel like. And I mean, like I said, I got it tattooed all over me, so it's like, yeah, but that's just what this series is about. Go check out my other ones. But yeah, this is for Order of the Phoenix, which I think is my favorite. So yeah, hopefully it's up soon. Thank you to everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. I'm going to be cranking out as many videos as possible with this week off from work. Plus, I'm too broke to do anything, so I might as well crank out as many videos as possible. God, I look like, I don't know what. I don't even care. Fuck it. But I do think it starts out with me talking about the themes of politics and media being stuck together. I just want, because it's going to be jarring. It's going to be like this and then right into it, because I don't know what happened to my other intro. But I think people kind of forget about that being a thing. Like, it's a huge part of it. And it's not just a minuscule little thing. But Seamus, oh, that's what it is. When I love this line. I do. I love this line. It's when Seamus and it also hammers home, Harry, you have friends. It does. This movie is very. It's so good. Like, Azkaban was just so well done that it's like anything after it, people are like, oh yeah, it's not as good as Azkaban. But technically speaking, but for, like I said, as a fan, like, no, Order's my favorite. And when Daniel Radcliffe says, Seamus steps to him and says, I have his name wrote down. Where is he? Dean Thomas, cutie pie. He's the cutest little cutie. What show was he on? Because now I'm just going off the cuff. Maybe you should read The Prophet, like your stupid mother. It will tell you everything you need to know. Yeah, you talk about my mom, it's on. I don't give a fuck what it's about. I don't want to say it's not addressed. I'm just saying it isn't hammered home like it is in the books. But nothing is. You know what I mean? It's just, these are just ideal things Abby wishes they would have done. And I understand you don't want to be too anti-government in this children's thing, because then you're going to get yelled at for that. And I think they did a really good job with it. I do. I think they did a very good job with it, with getting that message across. It just is something that you wouldn't use as a focal point if it was just a movie watcher of Harry Potter. I'm just, you know what I mean? Like, if you didn't read it, you wouldn't really go to that as like a theme. I'm just saying you might pick something else to talk about first, is all I'm saying. It's not that they don't talk about it, but it is a huge, oh, baby Voldy. My little Voldy I almost knocked him right over. It's a little miniature Voldemort. I definitely think that all of the child actors, well, I mean, and then I always forget how stacked these movies are. They all really are flexing their acting muscle in this for the first time, I think, as young adults. And I think in the other ones they did great. They were awesome. And same thing, even when they were getting older with Azkaban and Goblet, but it just was more a director heavy. Do you feel me? Do you get what I'm saying? But we have Harry, and I like it when I do love the contrast in Order of the Phoenix in the movie, where we go with the bullies and it's bright, and even though it's bright and sunny outside, we have this really bad thing happening. We have the kid with his mom, and the same thing happens in the book, except Dudley is way more ruthless and he says way more fucked up shit to Harry. And I really like how they handled it in the movie. It's uncomfortable, it's fucked up, that's how it's supposed to make you feel, like, no, hurt this guy, Harry, hurt him, you should want to hurt him. But then it's like, no, remember, that's not who you are. When he has the wand to his throat, and it's this very real world setting, and all of the friends start laughing. I love the way that is done, but Dudley's eyes go wide and scared, like, no, I already know you can fuck me up with that, but there's something about you, Harry, that's like, I'm scared right now. And I think those actors did a very good job, and that's supposed to be more of the, is Voldemort getting in, yada yada yada. The other big theme in Order is alone, and when you're alone, it's a lot easier to get to you, and when you're alone, you're a lot more vulnerable, and nobody can get through this world on their own, and that's from Game of Thrones. Jorah Mormont says that, but it's true. And if it's one thing Harry Potter does well, it's friends matter. And I stand by that. I'm a firm believer in that when people are like, oh, I don't need nobody. They know, bullshit. bullshit, because I'm the most confident. I'll take on anybody. I'll fight you, Jake Paul motherfucker out there. And guess what? I need my friends, and loyalty and friendship, and a real friend is rare, and you keep them, and they're special, and that love matters too. Just because it's not romantic doesn't mean it's not important. Or even in the real world, you're a lot weaker. There's a reason why there's strength in numbers, and Voldemort is trying to not only drive Harry crazy and not only get into his head so that he essentially either murders Dumbledore or he's gone himself. Whatever Voldemort is trying to prevent this guy from fulfilling the prophecy at the end of the book or movie. It's like when they're wearing the Horcrux, like just the fact that Voldemort's trying to get in and his mind is filling with these images of like the Ministry and stuff. It's not that, it's that like he's feeling Voldemort's rage and Voldemort's anger and Voldemort's everything. That's why later down the road, when they're getting the Horcruxes, he says like it's almost like he's wounded, like he feels scarier than ever because he's lashing out. Like it's because Harry can feel all of that stuff too. So Voldemort's trying to drive a wedge into Harry's life. Like, everybody needs a friend. It is what it is, and Voldemort doesn't value things like that, and that's why it is his downfall. It's not just this person I loved. It's not just your blood right. It's not just those things. It's the friendships and relationships and memories we have. They matter and shit. And this is where it all comes hammering home. And I really love that. Not only that's what you love about the Harry Potter series. You know, you're alone and weak and scared. It's a lot easier to take you down than when you got people who have your fucking back and stand by you. And that shit matters. You remember what it was like being a teenager. Like, shit was the worst, you know what I mean? Like, it was like the end of the world is coming. So it's like, okay, so not only do you already feel like that because you're a teenager going through high school and shit, now you are dealing with somebody trying to overthrow your government. Like, Harry, it does a very good job of relating to a young adult reading it, and to me as an adult even, but you know what I mean? It really does a good job of showing that through the story and with the villain even, of like being a teenager and thinking, nope, I can't. It's me on my own, and this is the end, and nothing will get better. And that's how Harry's feeling, and he feels alone. It does a very good job of tying together what you're really going through as a young adult at that age in the real world, but tying it to the villain, and it does a good job at that. And I'm going to give that credit. But I really love Rupert Grint in this. All of the child actors, because like I said, this cast is stacked. So when I say this, I'm talking about the ones we've been watching grow up, because you never really feel like Harry's alone. You know what I mean? That's how it is in the book too. He's not actually alone, but he thinks he is, and he thinks that nobody can relate, and he thinks that, well, nobody can really relate, but there's other people with him going through this, and they'll be there for him. But it's shown with Dudley that something's off with Harry, and that's supposed to be like, oh, is he really getting to him? Like, not Dudley doesn't know that, but Harry knows. Like, am I snapping? Am I losing it? And then he ends up saving him from the Dementor attack. I like that they kind of skip through things, and I love Mrs. Fig as a character, and I always think, like, being a squib in this world must be, like, the absolute fucking worst. Imagine not being able to do fucking magic. But we get introduced to Mundungus Fletcher in the books. They cut him out of the movie. I think that was smart, and I was glad they did it. I think the relationship of Petunia and Lily is extremely interesting. I think that's very interesting because I think everybody's interpretation of it is different, and I always felt as if she resented Harry because there was already this wedge drove between Petunia and Lily from her going to Hogwarts, and she calls her a freak, and she calls her all these names and says all this shit, but I think the truth is you and your sister were super close, and she was taken away from you because her path was different from yours, and then you thought she was looked at in a special way, and maybe she was. We don't know. Maybe they were assholes to her, and they treated Lily better. We don't know. But I always just kind of took it as, first, it comes off as jealousy, but the truth is you resent this kid, and you allow your husband to be an abusive piece of shit, and you're a jerk, because the truth is you're like Tywin Lannister or like Cersei Lannister with Tyrion. Like, you blame him for the death of your sister that you really loved, and you fucked up the relationship, and you didn't have communication with her and stuff because you were hurt. And I love this scene in the book. This is a great scene in the book, and I wish they would have done it in the movie, but I understand why they didn't, and I'm not mad about it, but I wish they would. This is one of those things, we're going to start getting into stuff where it's like, no, I wish you would have done that on screen, because it's awesome. But they get like 3 or 4 different howlers, and one is from the Ministry saying, and we see this one in the movie, hey, you cast a Patronus spell at this time, you piece of shit, and you're expelled from school, and we're breaking your wand in half. In the book, we have there's a couple more, but that does happen. We get one from the Ministry, yada, yada, yada. You have to have a hearing, this, that, and the other. But one comes through, and Harry doesn't know who it's from, and he says something about the voice being familiar, but it's in such like a rage that he doesn't recognize it. And we end up finding out that was Dumbledore, because Petunia slips up and lets out that she knows what Dementors are and she knows what Azkaban is, and Harry's like, the fuck? And Vernon's like, what the fuck? And everybody's very confused in the books. And this is where we end up finding out that Lily dying for Harry not only has his protection, it's literally in his veins. It's literally in his blood through her. This protection of Voldemort can't kill me. It's the wand cores and it's the blood and it's all these things that Voldemort overlooks, and that's the kicker with his downfall. But that is also why whenever anybody says like, well, why can't Voldemort just go to the Dursleys and fuck up Harry? It's because Voldemort can't touch him where Lily's blood dwells, and that's why Harry always has to go back to their house. And Dumbledore doesn't say, hey, yeah, go live with the Weasleys, or hey, yeah, stay at school. That's why he has to go back to the Dursleys, because Voldemort can't touch him there. It's very telling of Dumbledore's other side. And that's what I mean. We always have this jovial, fun, polite, passive guy that it's like, no, do you fucking want some? Do you fucking want it? Because you can get it. And it's like to the point where Harry doesn't recognize his own voice. This is a voice of somebody that he's trusted and been around for years now, and you can't recognize when they're fucking livid. You must be pretty fucking different. You know what I mean? And that's just another side of like, no, I'm not playing with you. I'm Dumbledore. And I just really like it. And like I said, and it explains a lot. And a lot of people just are like, oh, it's the Resurrection Stone. It's like, no, it's a lot more than that. I do feel like the beginning of Order of the Phoenix can drag. But I do feel like it is done well. 100%. I think it's done very well to get what is being said in the books across. And we find out what the Order of the Phoenix is. We fucking get to see Grimmauld Place. We get to see number 13 Grimmauld Place, which is Sirius Black's house. Unless you're a Harry Potter freak who watches it a million times like me, you probably wouldn't feel this way. But because I've watched him so many times, I'm like, oh yeah, but if it's the first time you're seeing it, like I don't think it does drag. Wish they would have just said it, because with a line of dialogue is that Molly, the Weasley's mom, her maiden name is Pruitt. And her brothers, Gabian and Fidian Pruitt, were in the original order and got murdered. Like, Molly don't come from no bitch-made motherfuckers. Molly comes from a family that has been fighting. You get to meet Kreacher, the MVP of everything. I'm just kidding, but I think that Kreacher's story is more interesting than Dobby's, that's for sure. But I get it. I love Dobby too, but I love Kreacher. And we get to meet him. We don't get enough Kreacher. I'm going to stay by that. Not enough Kreacher. Sirius's mom and her painting and how crazy it is, and I was just screaming and cussing people out and telling people, and it's just yelling bigotry on the wall. It had a permanent charm on it, and it was stuck on the wall. That's what Sirius Black's mom's portrait does. I just love the, like, Phineas and Nigellus. I wish they would have done more with paintings overall. Say there are 2 paintings of Abby. You are not, like, living in it, but it's complicated. You'll have to read it. I'm not going to explain the painting magic, but say my painting is in the loft, and my other painting is at my grandma's. You can tell the painting something, and they can go from that place to their original place. They can dance back and forth. Do you get what I'm saying? And so Sirius has an uncle who has a painting, who was a headmaster of Hogwarts. There's one in the headmaster's office, and there's one at number 13 Grimmauld Place. That's kind of how they play. It's like they're text messaging each other, except with paintings. I understand why the paintings would be cut. Like, I do. I get it. There's a lot to pack into these. But he's a really cool character. But the mom is essentially just screaming bigotry on the wall, and also all of their former house elves are beheaded and their heads hang on the wall opposite. It's very disturbing things. The set is always so well done. It really is. And number 13 Grimmauld Place is one of those places that's just, it's perfect. It's perfect in the movie. It's perfect. It's exactly how you imagined it in the book. Oh, this is where we get introduced to Weasley Wizard Wheezes. It never really gets talked about in the movie, and I understand why they cut it, and I'm kind of glad they did. Even though I love the twins, and I don't mind it in the books, there's a whole subplot with Molly and them being pissed off because they don't know how Fred and George are making money, and so then they think they're doing illegal shit or they're doing something wrong, but they know some shit is up. And that's why they can dip out of school later on in the movie, is because they already have this backup plan for a business. But nobody knows about that except for Harry, because Harry gave them all his Tri-Wizard tournament winnings. We didn't talk about that in the last movie, so they don't bring it up again. But in the books, it's like a whole subplot of Molly being, like, concerned and not knowing, like, how are they doing this? How are they making all this shit? And even Hermione comments, like, dude, the magic they can do on these things is pretty impressive. And I'm glad that they cut it down. But we also, if you remember, dude, message me one more fucking time on an app I don't even respond on. This is actually different in the books, if anybody remembers. The extendable ears that they use from the twins are making don't work on the door. They already have that covered. The order's like, yeah, no, you're not fucking listening in. But for the movie, it works better to have them work. And here's another one of my this is a favorite line of mine that I don't, when you watch something with headphones in, it is very different from when you watch it on a screen, or just out loud, you know what I mean? It is, like, you pay attention to more, but every time I don't think I ever noticed this until I watched the movie wearing headphones, and it's when they're listening in on the Order's meeting, before they let Harry be involved and know about things, and he's getting all salty. Is when Snape says, and Alan Rickman says it so well, but they're trying to get, I understand why they had the extendable years work, because now we got a bunch of things to cross. Not only is there something that the MacGuffin of the film and all this shit and adding to the plot, whatever, not just all that, and not just about the Order of the Phoenix, but we get the conflict between Sirius and Snape. In the books, we already know, like, there's serious fucking beef between these two. Oh, great, Black. Maybe he'll grow up to be a felon, just like his godfather, hiding in his mother's house. And it's like, oh my God, like, oh, this is so funny. And it's oh my God, it's to be a felon, just like his godfather. Oh my God, it's so funny. It's funny, but it's true. And it's just like, you can see these two going at it like teenagers again. But I love it. They do tell Harry more in the books. I will say that. They tell him a little bit more in the books. He knows a little bit more about what's going on than in the movie. But like I said, they want you to just know that Harry feels alone. He hasn't been getting any correspondence with anybody. He hasn't been... He feels completely alone, and he feels like he can't trust anybody, and he feels like he has nobody to talk to and nobody to turn to. And he's very vulnerable. And it's coming out as anger. So that's what Harry's doing, and that's the difference between him and Voldemort, and that's what Harry sees it as, okay, maybe I am bad, maybe I am mean, maybe I am wrong, but the truth is he's lashing out because he's hurt, because he cares about all these people. Voldemort don't give a shit. He just wants to hurt people. Did I forget to talk about this? The shot on the brooms going past, because it's not, I'm sorry, I'm American, is it Parliament? Yeah, it's Parliament, right? The shot of them on the brooms going past Parliament is iconic. For the sake of the movie to be better and well done, they needed to isolate Harry more and not tell him more, because narratively, and so I don't mind that they didn't tell him as much. Now in the book, you have Sirius coming to the platform in dog form, and Lucius Malfoy recognizes the dog, and that's more of a plot point, and Sirius being cooped up is more of a thing in the book than it is in the movie, but that's exactly why Snape makes the remark of cooped or stuck in your mother's house doing jack shit. Sirius feels like he's been sidelined, and if you know the character Sirius, you know that he does not want to be sidelined. All we need in the movie is to get how much Harry cares about Sirius across. We don't have to know all the minutiae of things. I quote Bagel Mari and say, Luna Lovegood is the realest character. And she is. And that's the whole point of her being like a space cadet and out there and conspiracy theories and all that stuff, is that when it comes down to it, she's the most honest and the truest and is true to herself. But a ton of the stuff in the movie with her is not in the books, and I think it's fantastic, and I love the way everything they did with her character. I do like that they hint at, like, the embarrassment in front of Cho, and Harry has a crush on her, but I do think it does happen, and I'll talk about it a bit more, but it's supposed to be cringy, and it is. Every emotion that this movie wants you to get across, it does very well. Like I said, when it wants you to be uncomfortable in the Dudley situation, you are. When it wants you to be embarrassed for Harry, you are. Alfred Enoch is Dean Thomas, and he's great, and he's adorable, and I love his adorable little face. I do like that they play up Hermione's intelligence. I do appreciate that, and I do like that. And it's true to the character. It is true. Like, Ron says it all the times in the books, where he's like, we would be fucked if we didn't have Hermione with us right now. Like, we would be totally fucked if we didn't have her. Like, what the fuck would we do? And it's great. But Ron isn't as dumb as they make him come off in the movies. And I've talked about this at length because I love Ron. He's my favorite character in the Golden Trio. But it's because he's playing for us. He's the one who tells us about this world. He's the one who... He gives us all the exposition because he's lived in this world. So we get all the answers normally from Ron. And they kind of switched that up to completely being Hermione. But Ron does have a way bigger role in things and way more to do with creating the DA and stuff like that. Ron has a lot more to do with it. And they kind of play him to be, like, super dumb in this one. But he's... And I wish that they wouldn't have done that, but I understand why they did it. There's, like, a very big... Out of all of the characters that are the main ones, I think that Ron is the one who is, like, most different in the movies from the books. But it's not bad. I love movie Ron, and I love Rupert Grint. And when they do that scene with Seamus, and Harry says the comment about the mom... It's so good, but Rupert Grint is awesome. And like I said, it solidifies to the audience, because Rupert Grint and Ron comes up behind him and it says... What's going on here? And he says it's super calm. He's not trying to have no beef. He's not trying to start no shit. He's very calm about it. And that just goes to show you what he's saying. Because like I said, they're fighting about politics and the media and your stance on them and blah, 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 blah. You're standing behind what you're saying. So Seamus and Harry have their going back at it. And Ron just calmly says, as a third party, what's going on here? And then he says, do you believe the shit he's coming up with about you-know-who and all this stuff? And Ron, all he says, and it's super calm, except he, like, takes a step forward. And the way Rupert Grint says it is so well done. In the book Ron is fist fights everybody. So it's great, but that's the character in the book, not the movie. And the movie, he stands up for what's right. I'm not saying he's a coward or anything. I'm just saying they tweaked it a little bit. But I did like how Rupert Grint says, yeah, I do. And he's just telling him matter-of-factly. He's like, I don't want to fight here. I'm just telling you, yeah, I do believe him. And then Seamus is like, oh my God, you're even admitting it in front of all of these people. Like, you're not embarrassed or something. Because even though his best friend is salty with him and his best friend is being a grumpy fucking asshole to him, he stands by him. He does. And then Harry gets all pissed and storms off to his room, and Ron follows him and looks at everybody. And Rupert Grint does great. You have half your family here. Like, you could be calling them to back you up, and you're not. You're just plainly telling everybody, no, I believe him. And if you want some, come fucking get some. Imelda Stanton as Umbridge is amazing. Like, I know that we hate this character, but she's amazing as her. And her introduction is very well done. And I always appreciated Emma Watson in these scenes and just, like I said, Hermione as a character. But this is where it is stated, like, it means the Ministry it has their fucking dirty little paws on our schooling right now. And that's a problem. They shouldn't be dictating things. I love the way they redo Umbridge's office and all the kittens in pink. That is it's so eerie and perfect. I do. I love that set. It cracks me up, but it's also intimidating because it's supposed to be. It's supposed to make you think, oh, I'm not a threat, but really you are a fucking threat. Blood quill in the book is a lot more disturbing because if I'm wrong, correct me, but I'm pretty sure it's taking your own blood already. Like, that's what's happening is you are writing and then using your own blood. And later on, like, Harry even mentions that scar on his hand of, like, remember why you don't trust these assholes. The transition into her classroom from the bird, the kite bird, the origami bird, like flying through the classroom when someone's doing it and then it burns, and the music change, just everything about that transition is awesome. It's perfect, and it's just this introduction to what's going on, because we already got introduced to Umbridge, but now we have her class, and that is something totally different. And Daniel Radcliffe and her going back and forth is great, and when he's like, no, I saw it, like, you're full of shit, and she gives him detention, that's a great scene too. I mean about not giving the movies credit where credit is due. Like, this is pretty perfect, and not only perfect, it is how I think of the character now when I read the book, and it is how I think of her office, and you get fully immersed once you see that, and you're like, oh, and you're like, yep, nope, I already know what you're all about, and I learned in 30 seconds, and you're gross, and I don't like you. So then we have the scene with the Golden Trio all together, and Ron says, if the parents knew, and Harry says, well, I haven't got any of those, do I, Ron? And it's just to show you even more, like, how alone he feels. And he tells Hermione it's not simple. And I really do. I think Daniel Radcliffe really shines in that scene. But here we go with a scene that is completely not in the book at all. This is not in the book. This is not where we meet Thestrals or Luna Lovegood or anything that has to do with her. But when Harry meets Luna Lovegood on her own and meets up with her in the woods and they explain what a Thestral is, it's so well done. I almost like it better. And like I said, it's so perfect and it's so good, and some of those lines she has are better than ones in the book, that's for sure, and I want to just give them credit because they're beautiful. She tells him, if I were you-know-who, I'd want you to feel cut off from everybody else, because if it's just you alone, you're not as much of a threat. And the way the actress plays it, everything, it's so well done, and to tie it in with the Thestrals, I think was really beautiful and really smart. And when you adapt something that's that big, you have to condense it, you have to change it, you have to mix and match it, you got to go, okay, how does this work, how does it doesn't? And that's one of those things that it's like, no, it worked, because we meet Thestrals in Hagrid's class in the books, and he tells you all about how there's a group of them, how they're very smart, how they can go places you tell them. That's how we get to know Thestrals in the book, not through Luna, but I do like that they tied those two things together. It's beautifully done. And after he has his talk with Luna, that's when Harry is like, no, I need my friends back, and he goes walking up to the table and says, can I sit with you? And they're like, yeah, of course, because this whole time Ron and Hermione have known, like, Harry's pissed and he's not right, and we will be here for you when you are okay. That's why Ron follows him to his bedroom, and even though he's like, I'm fine, Ron, get the fuck back, and Ron's like, oh, okay. Like, Ron was probably 2 steps away, like, god damn it, like, my best friend is fucking hurt and upset, and he's taking it out in an angry way, and it sucks. So they're waiting for him at the table, but that's when we get one of the most iconic scenes in Harry Potter, and that is fucking Minerva motherfucking McGonagall and Umbridge going at it. This is where we go all hail Maggie Smith. And like I said, Imelda Stanton as this character, she's amazing. But when they are going back and forth on those stairs, and what they're saying with using that set piece of stairs, you are going, I'm right. No, I'm right. No, fuck you. No, fuck you. And I'm going above you. And when you're above somebody and you have the high ground, you normally have a better chance of beating them. And that's what they're doing with their stance, with their way. They're saying, like, I'll fuck you up right here. No, I'll fuck you up right here. Do you still want to keep going? Like, that's what they're doing by using the staircase. And by Minerva stepping back after she says disloyalty. It's like, no, I know what you stand for. And at first I kind of thought you were just off. But now I'm like, no, man, this is a way bigger fucking problem than I thought. And fuck you. You're not even worth my fucking time because you don't even fucking get it. That's what Maggie Smith is doing. She's like, do whatever the fuck you want in your classroom, but the second I find out my students are hurt, like, we have a problem. And this is what I mean about McGonagall being one of, if not the greatest character in all of it. And I do think her and Dumbledore's relationship is the greatest platonic relationship in any story. They're two friends. These are two colleagues. These are two close people who it's like, you don't fuck with them. Like, and you don't want none, because if you come for him, you're coming for me. And it's loyalty and it's friendship. And that's all it is. It's my friend. And I believe him and I trust him. We realize our life, our way of life is at risk, and you are willing to fucking defend breaking it down. I don't want anything to do with you. Like, that's what McGonagall's doing there, and she's so great, and that scene is iconic. That's when we get another montage of Umbridge getting more power, and we start seeing Fudge talking to the media more, and the politicians talking to the media more, all through another montage. And like I said, these montages there's a few of them, and they could get redundant, but I don't feel like they do, especially if you don't watch Harry Potter all the time. We do get some great scenes from Michael Gambon as Dumbledore, and now the problem is the big issue in this book is not only is Voldemort trying to isolate Harry and break him off, Dumbledore thinks that he's afraid that Voldemort is going to work through Harry, so he's like, I'm trying to distance myself from Harry without telling him that, and that's one of Dumbledore's biggest missteps, I feel like, in this entire fucking series. It's like, why didn't you just tell the kid that? I get it, like, you just don't want this fucking kid to stress this shit, but Dumbledore's actively avoiding Harry, and that's bothering Harry even more. Michael Gambon has some great fucking scenes in this, but this is one of the things I have wrote down from the book about Dumbledore. When she goes to throw out Sybil Trelawney, in the divination teacher, the one who's always making predictions, it's very similar, except it's in the Great Hall, and they do the same thing where all of a sudden Dumbledore's in the doorway, and it's like, oh, Intimidation City, and then it's the exact same. Like, you might be able to say one thing, but you don't get to fucking throw them out, asshole. And the truth is, Sybil Trelawney is so important because she, in her subconscious, knows about the prophecy between Harry and Lord Voldemort. Dumbledore really thinks divination is trash, and he hires a centaur in this book, and that also adds to Umbridge being pissed off because Dumbledore's proving a point to her, and when they hire another divination teacher, and it's a centaur, and she's calling them half-breeds and shit, it also shows her prejudice even more. And Dark Forest, which is, it works the same, but in the book it's a lot closer to home, and Dumbledore's proving a point of like, you are prejudiced, asshole, and I'm gonna stick it to you. And not only does this centaur need my help because they kicked him out of his home, but you're a dick, and watch me hire him, I can do what I want. It's him flexing his power back at her, and it's very well done, but I understand why it's not in the movie. I do. If it just cost you money, it would be pointless and confuse people. In the book, this is what it says. Dumbledore was standing in the entrance, something impressive, and said, you don't have to go. And it's like something impressive, and it's supposed to be like, I don't know what he was doing, I don't know where he was at, I don't know what was going on outside a minute ago, but now Dumbledore's here and everything's okay and everything's stable again. I do love when Hermione in the movie says we need to make the DA. I do love her speech, I do love all that, but in the book it is both her and Ron that are like, no, we fucking need him to do this. Like, this is a better way to put it. Ron knows more than anybody, like, this can fuck our world up. And not because he remembers what it was like, but it's like, I grew up hearing all these stories and knowing all this shit. Neither one of you did. Like I said, he has two uncles that were in the original order that are dead. And I'm sure you heard all about how they're dead because of fucking Lord Voldemort. And so it's like, Ron knows. And so Ron's like, no, we need to do this. We find out that the government is watching the Flu Network and that's how they communicate. But then we get, I've talked about this before, Aberforth is my favorite Dumbledore. I don't know, there's something, I love Aberforth. He's the reason that Dumbledore always is described as having a crooked nose. It's because Aberforth broke that shit at their sister's funeral. Like, Aberforth is always down to either duel somebody with his wand or punch them in the face. But in the books and the movie, well, they say in the movies, he owns the Hog's Head. And he's the bartender at the Hog's Head. And that's where they're having the DA meetings in both the movie and the book. But that's a reference that just shows like J.K. Rowling knew this was going to come into play later on, and that Aberforth was the barkeeper there. So if you go back and you reread Order of the Phoenix, now you know when they start talking shit about this grubby old pissed off looking barkeeper, it's Aberforth, and that he probably has been collecting information for Dumbledore for years. They don't fuck with one another. How would you not know that's Albus's brother? How would you not know that's Professor Dumbledore's fucking brother that owns the Hog's Head? Like, they keep it on the fucking down low, and they rarely speak. But I think that's another relationship that I think is fascinating and that they should explore more, and I hope they do with Fantastic Beasts. But I love Aberforth. But they do the goat noise, and that's a reference to the books and the movies. But they do show, like, a barkeeper or a guy working there, but I'm sure she didn't tell the movie people, like, I'm sure she told them, like, don't have anybody talk to anybody in those scenes. Just have them come in, because I can't tell you what's going on, because if they would have known, they probably wouldn't have had that guy working there, because down the line he's going to be important. That's where they have their meeting for the DA, and I always really liked that in the movie too. They do a very good job with that. One thing I do wish they would have done in the movie is she had more, and I've been saying this about in all of my videos, they needed to show more of students from other houses and show, like, because that's kind of what it's all about. We're saying we're in 4 different houses, but really we're all from Hogwarts. We're all saying we're different, but really we're all together when it comes down to it. That's what Dumbledore's trying to prove. It doesn't matter what house you're from. So I just wish they would have thrown a few extras in, because you could say they're from a different house, but they should have made it more distinct, and I think that just would have been better. But it's not a huge, oh my god, I can't believe they didn't. The music shifting is well done. Hermione finally saying the name Voldemort, and when she says make the DA is really well done. We found out about the removal requirement. We find out about Neville. Now here's where we're going to get into stuff that they should have done, but they didn't, and I was kind of pissed about it. People think Neville's parents are dead. Neville's parents are not dead. Neville's parents are in St. Mungo's, and we learn about that in Order of the Phoenix. So Neville's parents were tortured so badly and for so long and didn't give up information to the point where they're insane. And they are at St. Mungo's Hospital, which is the wizard hospital. And in this book, we find out that Neville goes there every Christmas and sees his parents with his grandma. So they're not dead. They're just crazy. And it's very sad. It's even sadder to think of it that way. And it's even more badass to think of his parents that way. Refuse to give anything up. I wish they would have done more of that in the movie. We also find out that's where Gilderoy Lockhart is after he's lost his shit. So I just always thought that was interesting. And it's not like you had to have Gilderoy Lockhart in there, but I really wish, not even had St. Mungo's in it. I understand cutting St. Mungo's, but why, you could have at least mentioned that, because you wouldn't know that. You know that they're tortured, but he never explicitly says, like, they are living and breathing, and I can't talk to them and shit because they're not right in the head. After creating the DA, I love the DA and all that montage. It's super fun. It's super great. We're learning Patronuses. It's awesome. But there is a direct scene where Harry says Nigel. And I've talked about this, where it's Nigel and, who's the other one? Colin. The kid that's always taking pictures and gets petrified in Chamber of Secrets. Those two are supposed to show you just how devastating this story can get, because one of them dies. Because they stay behind at the Battle of Hogwarts to fight. But not, I always took it as, like, not for the Wizarding World, because they don't have to be a part of the Wizarding World. They were from a Muggle family. They could just dip out. It's because they idolized Harry and wanted to fight for him. And when Harry sees one of them dead, it really hits home, like, okay, kids are dying. But I did like that they used this little kid in the DA and showed that in there. He's like, come on, Nigel, do this. And it's the little kid that gets blown backward when they're doing dueling. Another thing that people have issues with, and I really don't, is when Ron faces Hermione. Now, in the books, it is explicitly said where he's like, God damn it, I'll be lucky if I fucking make it through this shit. Everybody is giving Ron credit for even stepping to Hermione. The only thing Hermione has issues with is flying and Patronuses, because those are like gut feelings. Hermione doesn't go with her gut. She's very logical. So it makes sense. And when Ron goes up against her in the books, it's supposed to be like this. They know. Everybody knows. Everybody's like, oh my God, you're going to step to Hermione. But in the movie, when everybody's like, oh, and they split it up and it's boys versus girls and Hermione would never, and Ron wouldn't ever, and he's involved. And I'm like, yeah, well, like I said, out of everybody who's changed the most from the books, it's probably Ron. I was going to wait for Half-Blood to talk about this more, but it's true. You have to remember, and I was one of these kids, the last Harry Potter movie came out the day that I walked to get my high school diploma. So yeah, I kind of grew up right with the characters in this. This is what's important to a 14-year-old right now. This is what's important to a 15-year-old right now. This is what's important to a 16-year-old right now. And it's like, I can totally see a funny thing in class of being like, girls over here, boys over here, who's better? Like, that would be a funny thing, you know what I mean? So I totally get where I'm making this movie for kids. This would be something funny they could relate to, like fun little back and forth. And I do like the little bet between the twins, and I like when Neville does the stutter step back and forth. I think it's funny. I think altogether it's a funny scene, and I think people give it way too much shit, and they're like, meh. Hermione would never, and Ron would, and it's like, no, I get it, but it's like you also have to remember the audience and people who didn't read them. I do like when we get the Dumbledore's Army montage and then it getting broke down by Umbridge and everything. they give Ginny the last curse, or hex, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the last spell, using Bombarda and blowing the fucking fake Death Eater up, the target practice Death Eater up, and then everybody kind of looks shook and they're like, what the fuck? Because that is something that is also taken away from the character of Ginny, is that she's scary and intimidating. And that's what I mean. Like, Molly ain't no bitch-made motherfucker, and Arthur's kind of a dingus, but he's no bitch-made motherfucker. He's not a coward. Like, the Weasleys ain't cowards. They'll step up to you. And Ginny's very good, and that's why she's one of the people that... Harry didn't want anybody to come to the Ministry at the end of this one, but it wasn't bad that it was Ginny. But they also have to show that for the movie if she's coming, because it's like, oh, she can hold her own. But in the books, it's like, no, this has been commented on, and like the twins even get nervous. And it does suck how much she got shafted, but I did like that they gave her that, because it shows in the mind, like, everybody like stepping back, like, oh shit, this girl is somebody to fucking be nervous about. Like, you might have 6 older brothers, but you ain't no one to fuck with. You don't need to call your brothers to come fuck people up. And I always like that about Ginny as a character. Not even just like, she's very independent of like, no, I don't need the twins. I don't need Charlie. I don't need Bill. I don't need Ron. I don't need nobody. I will fuck you up. Like, do you get it? And I really like that about Ginny as a character, that she has this confidence. But it's also part of being, I always thought that she kind of took after the twins too. I explained this in my Chamber of Secrets video. I think the reason she did was because they cut back on Percy and they cut back on other things, and those were plot threads that directly connected to Ginny. And because we cut back on those characters and those plots, we cut back on her. But then by the time we got to, oh, we need Ginny around, it was like, what the fuck? We haven't been using her. This montage, when they said bye for Christmas and it's super cringy and Harry kisses Cho, this is when I realized he looked like Tom Riddle. I was like, oh my god, Tom Riddle over here. And I was like, oh shit, I wonder if that was a choice. We get Harry seeing the attack, and now I really think that Daniel Radcliffe does a great job after this when he yells at Dumbledore and says, look at me. And he screams at him. It's really well done, but like I said, it's a huge, that's the whole conflict going on in Harry's head in the books. It's like, why are you avoiding me? Why won't they talk to me? What the fuck is going on? I feel totally alone. I feel like nobody understands me. Like, what the fuck? But I feel like Daniel Radcliffe did a very good job when he does that, when he does the whole, like, look at me type shit. Because the whole issue is not, because that's why Dumbledore asks him that. He says, were you looking down at the scene, or were you looking up at the victim? Like, what was what angle were you watching this attack from? Harry watched it through the snake's eyes. He was the one doing the attack on Mr. Weasley, and that's why he's so horrified. It's not like he just dreamt like, oh, my friend's dad got beat up. No, he had a full-on dream that he was killing Mr. Weasley. The fangs going into him, and he could feel himself killing him, and it was like, and he liked it. That was the problem, is he's getting these feelings of, this is happening, but this is also where Dumbledore starts to realize, like, oh, you might have Horcruxes, motherfucker. Because why is Harry seeing through snakes? Dumbledore sees the pain in Harry and is upset, but there's also a look of victory in his eyes of like, oh, I know I think I know what's going on now, and this is where he starts to realize there might be Horcruxes. Nonetheless, that's the concerning part, is when Harry says, neither, I was looking through the snake. And which one is it, Occlumency or whatever the other one is? I think that Dumbledore at all times is so powerful he can just be reading minds, and so he has been to Harry the entire time, and that's why Harry always says he feels like he's being x-rayed. What the fuck, dude? So I think that Dumbledore is eternally using occlumency against people. He's just that powerful. I don't think that's something like intrusive. I think he's just so strong that he can be like, oh, I'm looking at you and now I'm already there. I'm already seeing your thought and I'm ahead of you. And unless you're actively blocking him out, you can't. It's never explicitly said about the Horcruxes until Half-Blood, but there is a line in there where it's like, Dumbledore looks kind of like he won at this point, but Harry's like mortified, and then Dumbledore's mortified, and then he makes them a port key so that they can go find out if their dad's okay, and that's why they all leave for Christmas, is to go make sure Arthur's okay. And this is one of the funniest lines in the book, is when Molly is horrified that a muggle tried to help him with stitches, and she's like, that sounds like you're trying to sew yourself up, and Harry's like, it is, and she gets all pissed that Arthur's trying to do muggle medicine on himself, and it's really funny. But that's why they go back to Grimmauld Place for Christmas in the book, but they're not even at Grimmauld Place. They go to St. Mungo's Hospital. In the movie, we just go to Sirius's house, and that's when we get the scene of the Black Family Tree, and that is so well done, because I think in the book it's described as a cigarette burn. Now, a cigarette is much smaller than what it's depicted in the movie. It's because it's a movie, but the way the movie does it, I like better. Gary Oldman is just the best, and when he's like, yeah, my mother did that when I was 16, he plays his character so well, like he does every character. He makes Sirius more gentle, I feel like, and I appreciate that. I love Sirius either way. I'm just saying it's a fact. Like, he's a lot rougher around the edges, I feel like, in the book. It's real pissed off when he finds out that Snape's teaching Harry occlumency, because that's when Dumbledore realizes, oh, you need to shut this guy out. This is a problem, and that's when he has Snape start teaching him. They make it more rushed in the movie, and I feel like they do a very good job of it, of like when he's telling him he can't wait and he's pulling him down the stairs. The scene is very well done, and the scenes of the occlumency lessons are very well done, and Alan Rickman is great. We have Sirius yell at Creature one time, but in the book, Creature's an active part of why Sirius dies. We get the line of, if you want to know what a man is like, don't look at how he treats his equals, look at how he treats his inferiors. But the kicker with that line is, and that's in both of them, but Sirius is treating Creature, who's underneath him, like shit, when he should be treating him better. And if he treated him better, maybe Creature wouldn't have fucked with him. I like that they split Sirius up in the movie, though. I like that they split it up into 2 little meetups instead of one. And I'm not going to lie, I do think the practical flu network was cooler than just CGIing their face into the flames. His whole delivery with "you're a good person who bad things have happened to," and Gary Oldman makes that so relatable to everybody. It's perfectly done. The scenes with Hagrid in the movie, I think, are very well done. And to Azkaban's breakout. Azkaban's breakout is great. And Helena Bonham Carter, I know she's great, but she's so fucking great. Really loved that whole transition of Hagrid's back. Fun, yay, we remember Hagrid. Hagrid's our stable guy. Let's go see him. Umbridge is there. Fuck. Then we go to out the window, and then we go to the Azkaban breakout, and then we go back through the Daily Prophet covering up the Azkaban breakout. In the books, it is more explicit that Sirius is behind it, and that's why he has to stay in hiding. That whole transition from Hagrid's hut to Azkaban to the Daily Prophet is really perfect. It ties all the themes together if you're paying attention. If not, it's just a really well done scene. Gorb is different. In the book, we meet him during a Quidditch match, and Harry was kicked off the team by Umbridge. I'm glad that they cut Quidditch out. I'm glad that they cut Quidditch out. And I think the Gorb shit is like the most bizarre shit ever, but I don't mind it. It's whatever. It serves a purpose, but it's not my favorite part of the movie, I'm not gonna lie. But we find out that Hagrid has a brother, and it's his half-brother, and he's a full giant, and he's out in the fucking dark forest. But we learn all of that all kind of in a row. But that one transition out of his hut is really well done. I do really like when Seamus finally apologizes, but does it in front of the entire Great Hall, which is saying, like, I'm telling you in front of everybody. Like, and that means if I'm believing him to everyone, you guys should too. Because I thought he was full of shit too. And now I'm saying I believe him. I love the scene between Neville and Harry when he's like, I'm quite proud to be their son. I love that. It's really, I love it. I know somebody like did reporting on this before, and that's how I found it, but if anybody didn't know this and you look at the picture of the original Order of the Phoenix that Neville's looking at, they start matching his pattern of clothing to the one his dad's wearing in that photo, and it's fucking adorable. When they finally break up the DA and Umbridge finally gets in, it's way worse in the books, and this is one of my favorite scenes in the books, and I'm always upset that they didn't use it. I'm always upset that they didn't do this, and I stand by it. There are a couple scenes that I'm like, no, this was so good, I don't know why you ever changed it. Oh, this is just, it's so good. It's so good, and it's so intense in the books, and I love it. Cho isn't the one who ratted. Her friend is. Her friend whose mom works at the ministry, and so she's scared that her mom's gonna get hurt because they know the Death Eaters are in there, and they know they're doing fucked up shit, but instead we just want to cover it up. So this girl rats, but what happens is Hermione put a fucking curse on that shit that if you ratted, you would break out so badly it would fucking have acne say sneak into your head forever. Hermione puts a charm on it that makes you not able to talk, and it says sneak across your fucking head. So this teenage girl is mortified. So when Umbridge, it says, oh, we have somebody that ratted them out, and in the movie they use Cho, and I understand why, and it hits harder with Harry having his feelings hurt, and I get that. It works better in a movie having Cho do it. You end up finding out that she was given truth serum and all this shit. In the books, no, her friend willingly goes and snitches out the DA, and then Umbridge and them all go to Dumbledore's office. Now, this is one of the greatest parts in the books, and I love it. Umbridge is getting pissed. It's Umbridge, I have it wrote down. It's Umbridge, Fudge, I don't think I do. It's Umbridge, Fudge, Kingsley Shacklebolt, Percy Weasley, and an Auror. So like one of the Mad-Eye Moody, one of the Dark Wizard catchers is there. So he must be pretty decent, you know what I mean? And then it's the girl who snitched, Harry, and Minerva McGonagall and Dumbledore. Dumbledore does not stand up once. And this is a point to make, that Dumbledore is politely responding, he's very quiet, he's very calm, and he will not get up. That's saying, I am not giving you the fucking respect to stand up, asshole. That's what Dumbledore's saying. But Minerva, it is stated in the book that she is standing, and so that's saying, like, I'm ready to fucking go. Are you? Are you ready to go? Because I'm ready to go. And I always really love that, and it just shows again, like, I have his back, that's my friend. Outside of this shit, outside of work, outside of everything, that's my friend. If you come for him, it's on. They don't say anything like that. And so now Umbridge is like really coming at this little girl like, no, I need you to say out loud that you are ratting them out. I need you to say out loud all the things you saw. I need you to snitch them out loud and say it. But she can't talk because Hermione put that curse on it. So then Fudge, the Minister of Magic, is like, come on. And then Percy's like, I'm writing it all down. Percy leaves the room. I didn't like how in the book they say that. And then things start to get hype. And like I said with the paintings and why they're important, it's because you cut the paintings out, because some people were saying it was racist for them to do this, and I was like, well, who else was supposed to say it? It's a great line. It said that having Kingsley Shacklebolt say Dumbledore's got style, they had him do that because he was the only black guy, and I'm like, no, it's because Phineas Nigella says that shit before Dumbledore gives all the paintings that have a second painting somewhere orders to go and tell them, like, you tell this person, you tell this person, you tell this person, and you tell that person. But what happens is Dumbledore don't do shit until Umbridge puts her hands on a student. So when Dumbledore says, I thought we might hit this little snag, and Michael Gambon is great. The movie scene is awesome in its own right. It's great. It's amazing. It's just, this is one of those scenes in the book that you're like, oh shit, this is real now. And what happens is Umbridge is yelling at this girl, Fudge is yelling at this girl, Percy leaves the room, Shacklebolt is pretending to be on the Ministry side, but really he's gathering intel, and then there's the other guy there, and Dumbledore tells him all nice, like, I know you did really good in school, and I know you're really good at your job, and I know you're a really strong wizard, but don't make me have to hurt you. And then this guy's like, what? And it's one of the best parts of the book, and Fudge says, so you intend on taking me, Umbridge, this guy, and Shacklebolt all on at once? And he was like, oh no. And he says it all, and they make a point to say that Dumbledore's saying these things politely. He's like, no, I'm just saying, like, if you want to get fucked up, you can. He slightly nods and winks in the books. I have in my notes, and I remember that line now. So Minerva's like, do you got proof? Do you have proof of any of this shit? Okay, then leave Potter alone, and it's great. Because they said that. They were like, you don't want anybody looking at the justice system, asshole. Distinctly says he feels something like a bird brush past, and I think that's just supposed to be another, like, thing towards Fawkes. Because Merry Christmas, dude. It's the Christmas holidays, so we're trying to get a bunch of videos out, and now I'm starting to sweat in this blanket. Yeah, it's getting late, and I'm getting tired and sweaty, and I finally might take this off. Dumbledore and McGonagall don't do anything to anybody until someone puts their hands on a student. It says that Umbridge grabs this girl and starts shaking her very hard, and that's when Dumbledore's up, and her hands look, as Harry says, they look as if she's touching something burning, and she lets go, and she's like, what the fuck, man? And so then he's like, I can't let you touch my students. You ain't touching my students. That's the one, we're drawing the line there, asshole. Let's go. And then Minerva's like, okay, I'm on this shit. Kingsley does something. He like impairs her memory, or maybe he is the one that, but he's doing something, and either way, Dumbledore, there's a huge bang. Everybody gets knocked out except for Harry, McGonagall, and Dumbledore. And that's when Dumbledore's like, listen, I knocked him out for a minute. I had to do it to Kingsley too, just to make it look real. They wouldn't have believed him, but I'm going here, here, and here. Peace out. Minerva, hold this shit down. But Minerva, the whole time, the second Umbridge says something, is ready to go. And that also shows to their relationship. And then when everybody starts to wake up, Minerva's the one who covers Dumbledore's ass. And she's like, no, I don't know shit. What are you talking about? And that's also when he gives all the orders to the paintings. As Harry's leaving the office, finally, after the scuffle, is when he overhears Phineas Nigella's, Sirius's great uncle or whatever, who was a headmaster in his painting, say, you know, I might not agree with him either, Minister, but you got to admit Dumbledore's got style. And it's a great line, and I'm glad that they kept it in there. But I know a lot of people have reported, like, oh, yeah, no, they didn't get this. And I'm like, no, they did it because they cut out a character, and who else is going to say it? Umbridge? No. Harry? No. Like, you got Kingsley is the only other one there. Dumbledore says, he says, no, not unless you force me to. After they say, can you take us all? He was like, no, not unless you force me to. So in the book, we are introduced to the pensive. Snape is actively taking this memory out because he doesn't want Harry to see it. He doesn't want anybody to see it. And it's way, way worse in the books. And it's when Harry's dad is bullying him, and so is Sirius. And Remus Lupin has some really funny lines, and it's nice to see them, or Harry see his dad and the Marauders running around together, and then he notices, like, you guys are kind of dicks. And then he starts picking on Snape, and the picking on Snape is a lot worse. They're, like, doing fucked up shit to the point where, like, Snape starts to bleed, and then that's when you hear, put him down, and that's when Lily steps up, and that's when Harry realizes, like, oh my god, there's Dad being a dick, and that's already bothering me, but now I'm looking my mom dead in her face, and she's defending Snape. Like, it really fucks with Harry in the books, and I wish they would have had Lily's mom in that, and that's the whole conflict, is he sees Snape call Lily a mudblood, and that sets James off. James is like, what? Like, okay, I thought all this shit was funny, but we don't do that. And it's like, that was what they always said about Harry's dad, was that he drew the line at, like, yeah, I might be an asshole, but I don't do that type of shit. I'm not prejudiced. And Lily tells Harry's dad, tells James Potter, you're a fucking asshole and you're arrogant, and you're a prick, and I don't know, and I don't like you either. She tells them both off. She helps Snape. Well, Harry is very taken back at the fact that he's seeing his mom, one, tell his dad what a piece of shit he is. Two, Snape just called her a mudblood, and now James is kind of getting hype about that, and she's like, no, I don't give a fuck. I don't like either of you. But you can tell it really bothers Lily, and this is the first time we get Harry really questioning his dad and then being like, why did mom even get with you? It really throws Harry through a loop, and I really wish they would have introduced Lily in another flashback. But we just have to get the point across that we don't like James because he was mean to Snape. But like I said, in the book, it's a lot worse, and I don't like James. I don't like James. But it is really emotional in the book when Harry's like, my eyes are looking back at me. And then he's like, it's my mom. And it's just it's a very emotional scene. And then not only that, it's like you can totally get the, oh, wow, you got embarrassed in front of the whole school. And then you have to step up and you have to be mean even though you don't want to be. And you're telling the popular crew to go fuck themselves. And you're telling the guy who just called you a mudblood and is really horrified that he did it. But he's standing by it. Snape doesn't apologize. And that's what fucks him over in the end is like, I was alone, and these ones took me in, and even though they were prejudiced, I stood with them, and it's messed up, and you lost the only friend you ever had. He even says how it used to be an inspiring thing he would think of was his dad, and now it's not. Now that was taken from him, because he's like, my dad was a douche. And in the movie, it rebounds, right? In the book, we're introduced to the Pensive all early. Twins leaving is iconic. It's fucking great. It's great in the books, but I think the movies did that better. But that's also a big over-the-top thing, so seeing it is better than reading it. I also like how they transition into Harry having his little meltdown and his little freak out. In the books, there is a scene that I wish they would have done where they all attack Minerva. They have to take one of their exams at night, and all the students see Minerva get ran up on with her back turned, and it's one of the best lines in the entire series is when Madame Pomfrey, the school nurse at the hospital, says, yeah, as if any of them could take Minerva McGonagall on their own. You know you would have lost to Minerva. Ran up on her. That doesn't happen in the movie, and I get it. I understand. I like that they transition right into Harry having his little moment, and he thinks that he's seeing Sirius be tortured. The whole kicker is Voldemort really isn't. He knows to prod around and where to hurt Harry. Kind of what they allude to in the movie. And I don't mind that they do that, but I also appreciate more in the books, and like I said, there is more to it, but they go to use the Flu Network in the fireplace, and Kreacher, the house elf, straight up fucking lies to Harry. He doesn't lie to Harry, I will say that, but because Sirius was being a douche to his house elf, to Kreacher, not being respectful, not being nice, Kreacher essentially alludes that Sirius is gone, something happened. So when it'd be like me having a vision that something happened and then I call you and somebody else picks up and is like, oh, well, they're not around right now. And I'd start panicking because I'm like, well, where the fuck are they then? Because I am worried. That's what happens. But the truth is, Kreacher like fucked up Buckbeak or something. He did something for Sirius's attention to be elsewhere. And so then Harry's like, no, he is. He's at the ministry. We gotta go. I don't want to say one is better than the other because I don't think one is better. Obviously by now I would say if one was better, but I really like the scene where Umbridge slaps Harry and Harry says to Alan Rickman, they have Padfoot. They have Padfoot at the place that it's kept. And he's like trying to tell him without telling him. That's really cool and really well done. But during all of that time in the books is when we get to see Ginny, Luna. We get to hear about all of these people shining and really being good at magic and being able to defend themselves. That's why they step up and go with Harry, not only because they were with him, but it's like, oh no, they've already kind of proved they can do some impressive shit. So we go through the Dark Forest, we get Umbridge being prejudiced, we get Grorp, it's horrifying looking. Like I said, I do wish they would have done more with the Centaurs and with mer people and everything, because it comes together at Dumbledore's funeral, but they cut all that, so I understand why they didn't do it. I really get it, and I just wish they would have, but I think that cutting the Centaurs down was smart. I think that people would have been confused. I think that if you had Ferenzi in, you would have been confused, so I didn't mind it, but they do a really good job of getting across, like, no, this lady's not just a bad person, but like she's just she hates people. The movie does a very, very, very good job of going like, Hagrid saying, no, they've been cutting back their territory and they don't really adhere to that shit. And then when she says like, as being creatures of near human intelligence, it's like, oh my God. And they just sell it very well, and you get everything that they took a book to explain in 30 seconds. It's a different medium, and I just think it's really well done, and I like it. And then we have Grorp tying up Umbridge and making her all busy and going to the Ministry. I love when they go to the Ministry. That it's great. I wish they would have put more emphasis on the fountain, because they do bring it back up in a later movie. If you're going to do something in the movie later on, but I understand if you know you're not going to do it, but the fountain kind of depicts what's going on throughout this series, where at first it's like, oh, it's nice and fun and there's a house elf there, and but really it's like kind of showing oppression. And then we have it straight up showing oppression and straight up when Hermione says muggles in their rightful place later on in the series. That's what I mean here. It's like politics, the media, that all plays a huge factor in Harry Potter. It's a very big theme. But when they go to the Ministry and it's just it's so intimidating and so impressive. I love it. I do. And I understand why they had to, there's a ton of more shit happening at the Ministry in the books that we don't see. Like, Ron gets fucked up. Hermione almost dies. We're like, Neville's like, it's all my fucking fault. But I think that Jason Isaacs, who plays Malfoy's dad, and do you want to know what? This is another time when the costumes, like, I always forget that the Death Eaters all have different masks, and it's really fucking cool looking. And just that Death Eater coming out of the dark is iconic too. It's you know it when you see it, and it's very well done, and just the way it's shot and the way it looks, it's very cool. Helena Bonham Carter, when Bellatrix Lestrange gets introduced, it's great. When he knows how to play, and it's like, oh shit, like, you're doing this for fun, and she does it amazingly. And I know she's amazing, but the whole Ministry scene, I think, in the movie was done perfectly well, narratively. I understand we didn't get all the extra stuff and everything we needed, but I do wish they would have had somebody, whether it be Ron or Hermione, end up really hurt and have the audience be worried. Actually, anybody. I wish they would have had anybody, like, seriously injured and not moving to the point where everybody's like, what the fuck? There's just more to it in the book, and Hermione ends up fucked up, and they don't know if she's dead or not, and Ron ends up, like, loopy and not all there, and they're taking on these adults. But I do think that the Order showing up in the movies is one of the best scenes in the entire series. Why isn't Tonks used more? Why did they fuck Tonks over? I don't understand. She's a great character too, but I get why characters get cut back, but I'm like, why her? She's great, and you had a great actress. When Gary Oldman punches Jason Isaacs and says, "Get away from my godson," that is great. That is fantastic. A lot of that is not in the books. A lot of this back and forth between these characters is not in the books. There is a duel, but it's more like strategic, and we're going through it's more of a chase, if that's a better way to put it. It's less of like a battle in a room and more of a chase, and the veil is seen way earlier, and Harry and Luna can both hear things beyond, and everybody else is like, what the fuck? And that's what kills Sirius in the book, is he falls through the veil. He doesn't get hit with Avada Kedavra, and that's why it's like, I don't know why. That's a perfect example of book, movie. How does he die falling through this thing if you haven't read it and shit, and you don't know it? How do you know that's what happened? You would just be confused. But if you hear someone yell Avada Kedavra, you know what that means. You know what that green light means. You know what's happening now. It also gave Harry a reason to be more pissed, and it's just like Anakin Skywalker. Like, you're towing the line between the dark side and the light side, and you can go either way right now. But Voldemort wants you to go a certain way, but we want you to go another way. You know what I mean? And this Bellatrix shit might send him over the edge. That's why he uses Crucio on her, which is an unforgivable curse, which you can go to prison for the rest of your life. But I did like her. Either way, her blow is what knocks him into the veil in the book. But that nice one, James, that's not in the movie. But because you cut out everything with Sirius that's in the book, that's like, because Sirius is kind of pushing for them to be rebellious and do this class and do this stuff. And there's more correspondence between him and Harry in the book. And he's kind of living vicariously through them. Kind of just summed that up all with one line. Nice one, James. Because that's how he's looking at it. He's looking at it as, I have my best friend back. And not how Molly is, like, saying it. Like, he's a kid. Fucking stop this shit. He looks up to you. Can you not? Like, that's what she's saying. She's like, I'm trying to be a mom here and you're trying to be a friend. But it's devastating in the book, and it's devastating in the movie when Harry just knows. And when David Thewlis, who plays Remus Lupin, who I think is probably one of the best characters. Remus Lupin is great, but David Thewlis plays him even better. When he comes up to hold him back behind him, it's fucking heartbreaking, and the music is heartbreaking, and it's great. Honorable mention, when Neville yells out, when Malfoy says, "I'll give it over or watch your friends die," and Neville yells out, "Don't give it to him," it's like, oh, shit. But yeah, so then we finally get what we've all been waiting for. Some people, I don't know, I think it's eloquently done, and that's what I really like about it, but it's the Dumbledore versus Voldemort. But what you have to remember is Dumbledore knows the prophecy. He knows he can't kill Voldemort, so he can't go all out. He has the fucking Elder Wand. It's so good. When Voldemort first shows up, it's so well done. So Harry goes running after Bellatrix. When Helena Bonham Carter starts smirking when she knows Voldemort's fucking with Harry's head, and then he's really behind him and saying, "You should do it, Harry. She deserves it. She deserves it." And then she starts laughing because she knows he's got you now. And then she dips out up one of the Flu Network, and then Voldemort shows up. And when he just is like throwing his hand around all hard, because there are points where Voldemort is just doing things effortlessly. That's how Ralph Fiennes plays him. It's like effortless. But when he's going up against Dumbledore and when he shows up at the Ministry, it's very harsh, and my emotions are not in check. And it's like, what the fuck? And then when you finally hear, it was foolish of you to come here tonight, Tom, you're like, fuck yes! It's so good. And Michael Gambon is so great. He says, it was foolish of you to come here tonight. It's great. But one of my favorite scenes in all of Harry Potter is when they're dueling and all of a sudden Harry tries to get up to do something because Harry doesn't like feeling useless, like Sirius was just feeling. And while dueling Voldemort off and blocking all his blows, because if you watch, Voldemort's not only going for Dumbledore, he's trying to hit Harry, but he's trying all types of hard. Dumbledore is holding back, is what he's doing. But I love it when Harry tries to get him to do something, and not only is he holding out Voldemort and defending himself and Harry, but you can hear the sound effect. It's like a skirt, like your shoe on a basketball court, and Harry goes flying back, so it's like Dumbledore's like, no, fucking stay back. I fucking got this. Oh shit, Voldemort fell again. I really love that subtle movement. I love it. And then the fountain is specifically used in the books. That's the whole point of it. It's a big, huge symbol in the books, but whatever. And I wish they would have used it a little bit more in the movies, but they didn't. And then I do love the possession. And some people hate on it and say that the montage Harry sees is cheesy. I don't think it's cheesy. And honestly, I think it's super emotional when he's like, because that's the whole point. Like I said, how Harry is feeling this rage and this sadness and this aloneness. Now when Voldemort enters him, he's feeling love and friendship and happiness. And Voldemort hates it so much and is scared of that so much that it hurts him and he can't take it. And that's why he can't stay inside Harry. But when Daniel Radcliffe is all fucked up looking and says, you've lost, old man, and it's mixed together with Ralph Fiennes, it's disturbing. Dumbledore knows. He knows. It's a fight between Harry and him now. I can't do anything. The Elder Wand don't matter. I don't matter. It just matters if Harry is Harry or not. And Dumbledore's just staring at him. And Michael Gambon and Daniel Radcliffe do such a good job in that scene. And then when his friends show up in the background, it's so well done. When he realizes Sirius is gone and that his love for them is what will defeat them in the end, it's great. It is. And when they're walking out of Hogwarts after and they go back, when it pans out and shows the Daily Prophet finally telling the truth, it's such a great feeling as the audience. And then we get Harry saying one of the best lines ever that isn't in the or in the book either, which is, Dumbledore told me we got a fight ahead of us, but we have something Voldemort doesn't. And they're all like, what's that? And he says, something to fight for. That's so fucking good. The books, it is way sadder because he's running around at Hogwarts looking for Sir Nicholas, the nearly headless Nick, to ask him how ghosts happen and to ask him to explain that because he wants his godfather back. And it's really, really hard and it's really super sad. But both of them are great. And like I said, I love Order of the Phoenix. And this is where I feel like Goblet was where it was like, okay, this might get serious. Order of the Phoenix where it's like, no, this shit is serious. I really do. I just love Harry Potter. And like I said, there's just certain things that I feel like we always go, well, the book does this for everything. It's not against it. But rarely do people go like, no, the movie did this better and we did that better. Or we should acknowledge this. And that's all I'm doing right now. It's Christmas time and we all love Harry Potter and let's all get fucking wearable blankets and it's the fucking best. But yeah, no, I'm Abby with Motor City Nerds. Like, share, subscribe. We're about to crank out videos because we're off work. But yeah, Harry Potter, the anniversary's coming up. Well, I didn't know they were going to do like a whole fucking thing of all them together, which I think is really super cool because I think this cast is genuinely like good. You know what I mean? Like and comment. That always helps me out. Tell me let me know what you want me to talk about. I'm definitely going to talk about more Harry Potter. Like I said, this is just a comparison side by side of going like this and this. So I'm sorry if it's redundant, but it's just for fun. And if you like Harry Potter, it's probably cool for you. If not, it's cool. I have a ton of shit that I haven't finished. I haven't fucked with this is my tablet. And I got a MacBook Pro for Christmas, and I'm not expecting it. And you guys should have some better content coming up, and I'm really excited about it. So make sure you like, share, subscribe. Commenting helps me the most. Like, comment, engagement, it helps me. I'm Abby. All my shit's in the links down below. Look what my mom got me. Because then, do you want to know what I realized? When I opened it on Christmas, I was like, oh my god, it's the Infinity Gauntlet. And then I was like, wait, that ain't gold. She was like, yeah. Because you have to have the Iron Man one, and I was like, thank you, Mom. But yeah, she was really bothered by we would have Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet in this house.